played at Oregon.
I did.
Where'd you go to high school?
Pacific Palisades.
Oh, good Lord.
I know, spoiled.
A little.
Just a little bit. And grew up in Santa Monica, so
Oh, gosh,
72,
geez.
sunny, just very beautiful every day. Can't beat it.
Okay, so you know Eli Manning. So I imagine you're going to step up here, Geoff, and, oh, poor Eli deserves more respect, but
Yes.
it never ends that way. Jordan ended up with the Wizards.
It never does, but this was not thought out really well. I think that's what people are upset about. So you have the ownership who okayed this, right? But they didn't okay, I don't think, not playing Eli. Eli called them. He called them out. He said, look, you're either going to play me or you're not. Those are the two choices. I don't think they expected that to be the answer. And then now they're kind of stuck where Eli's left answering questions in front of the media in his locker room. There's no press conference. There's nothing. They just kind of ceremonially threw him aside. Like, it was so casual. I think that's what's bothering people. I'm not upset about the Geno Smith thing. A lot of people are, because Davis Webb is not ready to play football again.
He's not.
He was fourth string all training camp. He's been on scout team, maybe not even scout team reps. He's not ready to play. So that doesn't upset me. But the fact is, they just did it so casually. They put out a press release like they would when they cut meat. They put out a press release. I believe they deserve, Eli deserves to have a press conference with the ownership speaking about this, with Jerry Reese speaking. Jerry Reese has not spoken yet. The GM has not spoken yet once since this is his decision. So I think that's why people are upset. Eli is better than you think, though.
I think he's borderline Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's what he is.
But you can't judge him because his skill set now is very specific. He needs to have good protection.
Yeah.
He can still throw the ball, but he has no protection, no run game, no weapons. He'll go to Jacksonville. He'll go to Arizona.
Russell Wilson's
and he'll be good.
They don't have anything
Right,
either.
he can run. Eli's never been able to run, though. So you have to design an offense for Eli.
If I said to you, Russell, Eli Manning, who's better?
Russell Wilson.
Of course, but I don't think the country thinks that. If I said,
oh, no, come on.
I think it's obvious. Okay, Phillip Rivers, Eli. Come on.
Right now, Phillip Rivers is better.
Okay.
So are they both Hall of Famers then? Because their numbers are the same.
I think they're both really close. If Phillip Rivers was in the room, I would tell him he is. If he left, I'd say no. No, I mean, it'd be hard for me to say to his face no, because God, they've been so
bad.
Phillip Rivers had to carry that team, and Eli's had some gifts. The Mara family, Spags, and a great defense, plaques. OBJ, he's had better parts.
He has had better parts.
And Tom Coughlin's a Hall of Fame coach.
Yes, and better support system being with the Giants. I get all that. But if you look at his numbers in 14 and 15 when McAdoo got there, when I was there, he was good. His completion percentage was high. His quarterback rating was the highest of his career. We scored 30 points 7 times in 2015. We were a top 7-8 offense. Like, we were fine. So the decline, I don't think, is totally Eli's fault. If you look at the offense he runs the Packers offense. The Packers offense almost works because Aaron Rodgers can make plays off script. He can run, he can make plays, out of the pocket. Eli can't do that. So I think if you put Eli in a different offense like Jacksonville, like Arizona, like Denver, he'll be fine.
You live in Carolina. Beautiful place, Charlotte. Cam was so bad last week, it's almost funny.
Yes.
It would have been bad as a college quarterback.
Correct.
You'd be like, oh, he can't throw. He's not going to play in the NFL. Every time I criticize him, and by the way, I criticize Eli Manning for the same thing. He's all over the map now. I don't know what I get. What is it with the devotion to Cam when he's broken their heart more than he's made them feel great?
I'm the resident Cam hater in Charlotte. Like, Carolina Panther fans do not like me because I'm with you. Like, he's so inconsistent. 1 week up, 1 week down, and the team feeds off him more than almost any other quarterback. Like, if Cam is up, the team's up, especially offensively. Defensively, they're fine. If Cam's down, the team's down. And to me, when you get to the playoffs or you get to this time of the season, you have to trust your quarterback will provide the same game every week, and he doesn't. You don't know what you're going to get week to week. So how do you prepare a game plan or head into a game confidently knowing that Cam's going to put up 250, 300? Will he run? Will he not run? Will he complete passes? Will he get sacked? You don't know what you're going to get week to week from Cam.
Is MJ or Cam bigger in Charlotte? They both live there.
Oh, good question. I think Cam, because with the kids. I think the kids
love Cam.
Kids love Cam. Jordan's my generation. I mean, I think he's still loved there, but not Cam. Cam is beloved. And I think because he does so much good in the community, people love him. And Carolina Panther fans, they're sensitive because I think they feel that no one respects the city in general. No one respects the Panthers. So if you talk bad about him, they take it as a slight on the city.
That's very much the South with college football. Like Tennessee gets very defensive. Okay, so did Chip Kelly recruit you to Oregon?
No. He was my OC my senior season.
Okay, so Chip Kelly, very successful. Now he's the UCLA coach. He goes to the NFL. By the way, 10-6, 10-6. I don't blame the San Francisco thing wasn't his problem. Why does Chip work so well in college, and then the NFL last couple of years wasn't great.
It's all about tempo. So in the NFL, you dress 46 guys, and 3 of those are quarterbacks or 2. Then you have a kicker, a punter, a skill guy. So you dress 41 guys. You don't have enough players depth-wise to play at the tempo that he has, especially on defense. Because last year in Philly, the defense played 2 games worth of extra snaps. You can't do that in the NFL. So that's his problem, is that he never scaled down the tempo in the NFL to match the personnel he had. In college, when I was there, we rotated linemen, we rotated skill position players.
You'll play 59 to 65 guys.
Yeah, and you can't do that in the NFL. So he'll go back to UCLA. If he can change the culture at UCLA, I grew up a UCLA fan. My parents are alums. I went to games I was 5 years old. If he can change the culture there where they don't play so up and so down to opponents, that'll be a win. I don't think he'll get to the success he had at Oregon, 4 straight BCS games, but I think he can do well there, win 9 or 10 games. And the South, Pac-12 South, it's not very good.
Yeah, it's not.
No, Arizona State, Utah, Colorado.
It's kind of garbage. What would you talk about an NFL locker room? So Case Keenum plays for the Vikings, and Case Keenum came into this league as a backup, so he'll be seen as a backup. He's probably, in my opinion, better than Ryan Tannehill, but Tannehill was a first rounder, came in as a starter, so we view Tannehill as a starter. I think Keenum's actually a better quarterback. So Minnesota's winning with Keenum, and they have Teddy Bridgewater. And that's who the owner and the GM wants to play. You've been in NFL locker rooms. Could you pull a winning quarterback out? No, you can't even pull Alex Smith out right now. And to your point about where you're drafted, I was a 7th-round draft pick, and I was never viewed as an elite player because I wasn't a first-rounder. Like, if you compare my play to a first-rounder's play, that first-rounder would always kind of get that job over me, even when I was an elite player for many years, just because of where you're drafted. To your point about Tannehill versus Keenum, the players want guys who can win football games. Right now, that's Case Keenum. There's no doubt about it. He's playing well in that offense. I think Pat Shermer, the OC, does not get enough credit for what he's done to get that offense playing to his skill set. A lot of play action pass. They revamped the offensive line, 2 free agents, a center as well, in the draft from Ohio State, and they're rolling right now. So he's not coming out. You can't take him out. How do you Bridgewater has not played in a year and a half, almost 2 years now. You can't take him out. I know the owner wants him. I know the GM drafted him. But until Keenum falters, and also, what is faltering? Is it 1 bad game, 2 bad games, 2.5? Is it 1 game good, 1 game bad? What do? You leave him in the rest of the season. However, last point, I get why they want Bridgewater to play, because he's a free agent, and you don't know what you have. Keenum's a free agent, Bridgewater's a free agent, and Bradford's a free agent. So you have to play him, I think, at some point to figure out, will you sign him next year or not? Yeah. Do you, having played for the Giants and then in Carolina, and you play out west in Oregon, I find I like offensive linemen on the show because I think you're thoughtful, and you have to be. And now with no huddle, you have to be really, really. You guys roll. I mean, if you went to Palisades High School, you probably, you had good parents. I'm getting, yeah. When you look, do you miss football? Because now quarterbacks want to play forever.
Yeah.
But I talked to Ed Cunningham once, and he's like, he was a former University of. He's like, man, my hands were beat up after year 2. What do you miss about football?
The feeling after you win. Because you'll never get that feeling anywhere else in life. You prepare all offseason, all summer, all week to win. And that moment when you walk in the locker room after you won a game until probably about Monday after you watch film is the greatest. Because nothing can be bad. Like, you had a bad game, doesn't matter. You won. You had a good game, great. You won again. So that feeling of winning, putting in 3 hours, 10 minutes of just physicalness, of grinding out, getting a victory, that's the only thing I miss. I don't miss anything else. I don't miss the practices. I don't miss the way my body feels. I had 6 surgeries in the NFL. I don't miss the time away from my family. I don't miss the training. I miss none of it. I just miss that feeling of winning.
Yeah. By the way, football practice is never fun. I preferred baseball practice.
Yeah, because baseball practice, you just go shag balls while you're,
it's the best.
It's not very physical. Football practice is a necessary evil. I think that it's hurt our game not having 2 days anymore, because you have to do, as much as you hate hitting and it feels just the way it feels, and you're in your 7th day of full pads in a row, but you got to do it because you have to tackle, you have to block in this league. But yeah, practice is not fun. The reward is winning. That's the reward, is you get to go out and win a game on Sunday or Monday.
Who's the best player you ever played against?
Julius Peppers. I played against him 2 years on skill team in Carolina when I was a rookie and a second-year player. He went to the Bears in 2010. We played the Bears. I tried to cut him on a screen pass. I was at right tackle. This play is on YouTube. It was so good by me. I went to cut him. He plays off my cut, jumps up, tips the ball, and picks it off while laying on the ground.
I love that story.
He could just